Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, thank you, huge thanks for the support. I really do appreciate it. So apologies there was no video on Sunday. We had a power cut which went on for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, just right through the middle of the day. And by the time I got caught up with some other things, there just wasn't enough time to get anything sorted. So apologies about that. But I'm back today with the new club gift at the moment. I'm not sure if it's going to be there after the birthday event, but it certainly is there at the moment. And this is the Moonlit Moments, and I think it's a repeat of an old kit but redone with the new foil colour. So we've got this beautiful gold foiling. So I'm going to be playing with the toppers and the foiled sheet. I don't think I'm going to need that today, but I'm probably going to use those as the inserts once the cards are finished. So let me just pop that to the side for a second, and I'm going to bring in a piece of 6x12 cardstock, and this is 300 GSM white cardstock. Sorry, just moving that out of the way. You can see a little bit of a mess there for some reason, not quite sure. But I'm going to leave it as it is. That's pretty much how I roll. And I'm going to do the sort of stepper that I do, my simple stepper, but I'm just going to do it with the step on one side. So I'm going to line this up at the 1 inch mark past my cut line, and then I'm going to lift that up again. I'm going to cut from 1 inch down to 7. And then pop that out of the way for a second. It'll be back. And then we need the scoreboard. And I'm going to score out 1, 2, and 7. And then I'm just going to turn that over and score at 6 inch mark, just right up to that score line, that cut line. And this is going to make the base of our card. So just as usual, I'm just going to be a little bit gentle with it. Just ease that into position. Put that down, and then I'll just go over my score lines with this porcelain foam folder. It's just going to make those fold lines nice and tight and crisp. It's just going to make it easier for me to work with, and it also means it's going to retain its shape. So as you can see, that's where we are at the moment. If you wanted to, you could have it as a sort of that way round with some kind of thing going at the top, but we're going to use it in the normal way as a tent fold. So let me pop that down there. Let's bring a trimmer back in, and I'm going to grab a piece of gold, which I did put there. So this first border I'm going to do here is going to be the 1x6. So I'm just going to come in at 2 notches under an inch, just because I want that lovely white border, and then at 2 notches under 6. And that will be our piece that goes there. Now I've worked out, if I turn this around, this here is just over 5 inches. Okay, so all these pieces here, this piece and this piece, needs to be, we're working to a 5 inch. So this piece here, again, we're going to go at 2 notches under the 1. And then I can turn that around and go 2 notches under the 5. Let's move that to the side. And then this large piece here is going to be 5x5. So I'm going to go 2 notches. 2 notches under the 5. And 2 notches. So it's just that lip on this trimmer here. It just goes just slightly under the 2 notches. Okay, and then that piece will go on there, and that way I've got all of my mirror mats for this card and out of the one piece. Usually I forget, and it ends up being out of 2 pieces. But I'm going to need this piece back in, but I've worked out if I do it that way, then I can get that all out of one sheet without wasting. Okay, so I'm going to be using this piece here. So I'm going to cut this initially at 5 3/4 or 4 notches under the 6. And then for this piece here, I want this foiled border. So let's just see where that lands if I put that there. It's going to go just under those stars. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. So that should fit quite nicely on there, like so. So that's the start. And then we need a piece to go on here. And I think I'm going to come in again from here. Again, I'm 4 notches under the 1, and this needs to be 4 3/4. I'm just going to see what that looks like on there. I'm not sure if I like that or not. I might change that. But then this piece here, we need to be 4 3/4. And 4 3/4. So this is our big piece here. Maybe we should have, let's see what it'll look like if it's just with the purple. I didn't really want to do the gold up there and there. It looked a little weird to me. So let's see what it looks like if I just do these purple stars. Swap that out. Yeah, I like that one better. Okay, so I can keep these pieces just in case I need borders with my other cards. And let me just get rid of that piece there. Okay, so let's glue these down. So as usual, I'm going to be using my all-purpose glue in this one. This is the Clout all-purpose, which is the same as the Hunkydory, pretty much. You might have a few sort of slightly different properties in that. It might be slightly runnier, I think, is what I've heard other people say. I haven't used it for a long time, so I'm not entirely sure, but it is essentially made from the same sort of materials as the Hunkydory glue. And then this one, I've got the Clout all-purpose glue, which is like a white PVA glue. I would say it's most similar to the Pinflair bookbinding glue or the Creative Expressions glue, in that it's slightly thicker than some others. But again, you know, if you depends on all the glues work differently in different environments. So whatever you're using, if it's working for you, then you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, is what I say. I think Tim Holtz says you do you, so that's exactly the same sort of place that I'm coming from. If it was working for you and you get on with it, then you've got no need to swap it out. Okay, so that being said, if you've got a sample of it, it's worth trying it just to see that if you have got a problem getting hold of whichever one you're using, you've got a backup plan. So, right, so we're just popping these gold layers in, just popping them on as straight as we can. And of course, because we're using that all-purpose glue and the tacky glue, we do get a little window of opportunity just to make sure we're getting things straight. And we just pop some, and the tacky glue I just put on the corners just for a slightly quicker stick, and it just means if I'm moving on to the next part of my project, usually, you know, 9 times out of 10 it's stuck down by the time I've moved on to the next piece, so that is not moving around. It's nothing worse than finishing your project and realising that you've knocked something a bit off kilter. At the moment, usually for me that's gems. So, but in the past it has been pieces of paper. Okay, or cardstock. So let's just pop this on, and then, and I kind of love this image, this foiled image. I think it's good enough to be a standalone sort of piece on a card, which is pretty much how I'm going to use it on this one. It's pretty much going to be the focal image of this card. So I'm going to use one of the tags and a bit of ribbon and some gems, and then that's it, because I just love this image as it is. I think it's beautiful. So just popping these on, get these in place. Definitely looks better with that purple there rather than the other one. See how that's moved just a little bit? That's the bit that annoys me, because usually I don't notice it until it's too late. Okay, so turning to the topper sheet. So on this one here we've got 2 swans and a little love heart in the middle, and then we've got this round sentiment that says on your special day. Now I did think that some navy ribbon, this is a 3mm satin faced ribbon. I think it's actually double-sided ribbon. I got this from AliExpress. I think it cost me something like 69 or 89p, and it's a couple of yards. So I usually buy a bundle of different colours. Sorry, my voice is going. A bundle of different colours and at the same time. So and I quite like these sort of lengths because they're long enough to have a good old play with a couple of different cards. So I'm just going to use my little bow maker. Hunkydory have got one of their own. This is an old Glitter Girls one. I think it's Mum's. So let's just get that nice and tight. And if you haven't got a bow maker, if you can't tie them, just I used to be able to do it just with my hands, but if you are unable to do that, sometimes a fork, if you've got something to hold a fork in, you know, maybe a pot, you could do the same tiny little bow through the tines, as they're called, you know, like the fork, bit of the fork. Okay, so this is what I was thinking, something along the lines of a little bow up there, maybe that way, maybe coming off there like that, and then some gems. Jobs are good in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is grab, so I've got next to me, and I'm not going to pick it up and show you, these are the Sticks to 1mm pads that I got recently to try, which I do quite like because they've got the can't show you now because I've just peeled them off, but the actual tabs, they do have a bit on each side so that you can let me break off a piece and show you. Actually, this one is already broken off. So if I turn it over, you've got some on both sides to be able to lift that off easy, which is great because it means if, like on some cards I was making the other day, if you cut it in half, you've still got somewhere to pick the sticky back off, if you know what I mean. So the only downside is, and it's not a downside, it's because I did something stupid. So I've got a big roll of it. Okay, so it came on a piece of 12 by 12 card, wrapped up in cling film, and I went, ooh, lovely, and took it off the card, and then ever since then it's been falling out of the the sort of shape of the ring, so it's getting messy, and I know I'm going to waste some foam pads. What I should have done, and what I would advise you to do if you do go for that 6 sticks to bundle of 4,000 pads, I would say keep it on that cardboard, and just unhook. It's got a blue piece of tape where the where it starts, and I would just keep going around it in that hoop, on that piece of cardboard, and you'll probably find that it's not going to unravel like mine is sadly doing at the moment. Okay, so now we need to pop some on here. Actually, there's just a little bit of a pip there, so let's just get rid of that one, and that one, and that one. And that's just a normal little nail file, and I just keep that just for bits of cardboard. So because I'm going to be putting a little bow on this, I've just put one of these pads over the hole where you can put things through, thread things through. So that's going to keep that in place, and then I can glue that bow nicely to it. And I'll use my my tweezers to keep that in place. Just give those a good press down. And what I will say is that when if you go for these sticks too, I mean, Hunkydory are okay, you know, it was just purely the financial side of these worked out to be a lot cheaper, given that I'm making a lot of cards at the moment. I've been rather silly and stuck these together a little bit, but they are a little stickier to get the backing off, but they're not impossible. Okay, so let's just pop that. I'm going to go over around about there. I'm just going to use some of my tacky glue. I don't want it there. Just going to pop it on the hole, or where the hole for that tag would be. I'm going to pop my bit of ribbon on, and then I'm using these tweezers, the ones that shut by themselves. You have to press them to open them. I'm just going to clamp that on for about 10 minutes. Let's not have that leg going up in the air, otherwise that'll be permanently in there. Okay, that's a bit better. And I'll pop that on for about 10 minutes or so, and then they will be well stuck. I'm not a fan of the glue dots. You might get on with them, but I haven't been able. I tend to find that the bows come off when I put a card in a box. So, and I'm not sure whether that's due to my conditions here, with it being quite warm. So I'm just finding the purple gem, that's all. Or whether it's just that it's not the best thing for me to use that for. So, okay, I think I've got two choices here. So we've got some, not like those ones, I think they would show it nicely. We'll go with the Hunkydory glitter ones. So I'm just going to go with one and a smaller one over there, and then one of these big ones down the bottom. I feel like I need to put something there, so let's go with another big one. There, we'll just make that nice and even. And then if I take one more of these, so I'm just worried because that's centre. Let me just, it's just the sticky pad sometimes comes off them, which annoys me. Okay, so, and that's the same of all gems in my tray. I think it's just because I don't look after them very well, I just chuck them all in there. Okay, so that is our card number one. I can't really hold it up until that's glued, but by the time I finish this video, I should be able to just show that out. Inside it just needs an insert, which will be, I'll do it to fit 6 by 5, and that will go on the inside. So I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. So for my second card, coming back in, this time I've got one of the Hunkydory card blanks, which is 8 by 6. Now I did find for some reason this pack, they don't seem to fit in the envelope very well, so I'm not sure if the envelope's a little small or whether these cards are on the larger side, but I did just take 2 notches off the side just so that it fits in the envelope nicely. The first pack I had fit fine, so I don't know, I think this must be just an odd little lot that for some reason they've sent the envelopes too small, or you know, whoever has supplied Hunkydory with the envelopes has sent them a bit small or something, but not to worry, I can still use it. I'll just take those 2 notches off. So again, coming in with the gold, because we've got that gold foil in, and I'm going to cut this at 4 notches under the 6, because I've already taken 2 notches off there. And then I should be okay for 2 notches under the 8. But as always, we'll just bring that in and check. Just on that side, that looks a little longer. I'm just going to take a little more off that side. So I'm going to come. So we were 4 notches. So I'm going to come 5 notches. Just take another notch off. Just doesn't seem like there's a good border around, and I do want to be able to see that little bit of white, not too much. That is looking better. Okay, and then I'm going to come back in with this piece that we've got left over from that last card, the foiled cardstock. So we know we were 3 there, so 2, then 1, 2, 3. So that was 2. Just want to double check. Then 1, 2, 3. So I believe we should be here. Let's have a little look, see how that is fitting on there. Okay, that's perfect. And then let's have a little look. So it needs to be 4 notches under the 8. So we need to take 2, 4, 6, 7 notches off. So if I take, I just want to try and get it even with, so we get some of this gold border in if I can. And let's try taking 2 notches off there. I don't think we're going to be able to. So I know it's not even, but I am going to leave it like that, because I think I lose, if I try to go even, I'm going to end up losing some on both, but this way I've just literally gone to the tippy toes of that one. So best of a bad situation for me in terms of the layering size, and that is going to be lovely. So let's put that arm down. Oh, another piece I want to do. So I'm going to use one of the sentiments that I foiled myself. This is from a Better Press plate. So I just need to do a little gold mat for this. So I've used a square die just to cut that out, but I don't want to use the next die size up. So I'm just going to put a little nail mark in there. And that's my quick way of crafting, and then I cut just in front of that. You can use a pencil if you prefer. I know a lot of people do. Let's have a little look and see. How is that? That is perfect, and I probably might round the corners. We'll see how we feel once we get that on. And the reason why I chose this one is because I didn't want to use, let me just pop that down because that was one I was choosing. I didn't want to use the wishing you a beautiful birthday because I've got such a lovely background. I'm using the big topper anyway, so I don't want to use too much of it. But on the topper you've got two swans, well technically three swans. But this sentiment says sending wishes for a great day. So I thought it can either be a wedding anniversary or birthday. So it just covers a lot of occasions, that sending wishes for a great day. So that's why I decided to use that one. Okay, enough chatting. Let's get some cards stuck down. And I was watching Hunkydory today, so it's the last of the birthday bits, wasn't it, today? I think it's the last day today. I think we Savers tomorrow, I think. I'm not sure. I think I did see the schedule. I know there's, I think, Savers one day this week, and then there's another kit and Art Deco one. That is not going to be. I'm not going to buy that one. I'm not a fan of Art Deco myself. I know my sister absolutely loves it. But I bought a kit a couple of years ago, and you know, if I'm going to make an Art Deco card, then that is what I would use for it. But I did buy from the birthday, I bought the dog one, you know, the decoupage dogs that I kept talking about. So I bought that, and there is the cutest French bulldog, and she has, well, technically she's got like about 8, but because her dog had puppies, so but she loves, her favorite is the first one that she got, which is Doris. I mean, she loves the others, don't get me wrong. She didn't, she's gone off the puppies now because obviously they thought, oh, they'd be gone, and they've still got 2 out of the 6, I think it was. There was Stan and Ollie. They went to homes, but that was by another mother. It wasn't Doris. It was another dog that her partner has, that lives with her daughter, and then his daughter. Sorry, not my sister's daughter. She's only got boys, and then Doris had 4, and they called them Freddie, Tina, Elvis. Freddie, Tina, Elvis. What's the other one called? Tina, Elvis. I can't remember what they called the other one. There was a musical name. But Freddie is, he is with her son, so he's with Anfield, because he's such a good dog. They didn't want to, he's such a good boy, like really easy to train and that, so they wanted to keep him, and he looks like Doris as well, so they decided to keep him. They have got another boy dog called TJ, but I think it's Tina and Elvis that still need homes. Let me just get rid of the pips on there as well. Yeah, so technically she's got like loads of dogs, but only one really has her heart, and that's Doris, because she was the first one. We bought her a pram for her for Christmas. Yeah, Christmas or her birthday, one of them. Because Doris used to, you know, because they get a bit out of breath, don't they? The Frenchies, they're one of these breeds with the squished noses. So we bought her a little pink pram, and Doris used to sleep in it when she was a baby with her little toys. Okay, so I'm going to try and keep this over to the side. I'm kind of not unhappy about missing that swan, but you can still see his little head peeping through, and then obviously we need to find somewhere for that to go. But let's use the Hunkydory pads up first of all. So let's bring some 1mm ones in. I think that's all I'm going to use. Might have to cut these a little bit, but let's bring that out. And I'm doing them all at 1mm, so I just want them raised on both of those. So let's just cut these pads down. I think that should be enough. Okay. Yeah, so she's going to be getting a Frenchie card this time. Because the one on the decoupage does look a bit like Doris. And they do always look miserable. Apart from when they're like out of breath, and then they look like Stitch, you know, from Lilo and Stitch. Because they've got such wide mouths. I'm not, no, don't get me wrong, I love all dogs. But a French Bulldog is not the one I would choose to have. You know, they have to have a special, well, they need a special diet for their allergies, and oh dear, it's bad enough with Henry and his allergies. But yeah, but then you've heard me say before, I'm a Scotty dog. That's who I love. I like Jack Russells as well, don't get me wrong, and any of the terriers really, because I like a dog to have a bit of personality. And that's what you get with any terrier really. Small dog with a big attitude. I love that about them. But I do. I would have never said Scotty dog before I had Pippin. So, and it was kind of an accident that I found him. But he has been such a beautiful dog. I mean, Scrappy was a border terrier, crossed with a Jack Russell, and he was a gorgeous dog as well. And I love him to bits as well. But I just think the Scotty dog, I don't know, I think they have really huge heads. Like the head is almost too big for their body, but not. And they have brown like eyes, and they're really intelligent, like chimpanzee eyes, you know when you look into their little faces, you know that they are understanding what you're saying. And yeah, that's why I'm now a Scotty dog girl all the way. Whether I get another Scotty dog or not, I don't know. I really want another dog when these go. The trouble is both of them need to be on their own really, because Henry and George don't get on. So we won't be able to have another dog until George goes, and then you don't know how healthy you're going to be then, do you? So it's, I hope so, but I don't know. I was watching, so just while I'm doing this, shantering away about random things, I was watching this video, comes up on my feed on Facebook, and it's a dog called Bunny, and I think they've got another dog as well, but I can't remember what that dog's name is, but it's always Bunny. And they have, you know, I don't know if you've seen them, but they have these buttons that they've pressed, and they teach them certain words and then apply them to these buttons, and these Bunny and particularly does have some, you know, it's like a 2-year-old conversation really with her mum, telling her what she wants. And she'd had a difficult day the other day, and she kept pressing the all done button because she was just done with the day. They are human, they are, you know, they're not human, but you know, they have the same feelings as us, 100%. But then I think most animals do, we just tend to not think about it really, don't we? It's easier. Right, is there a right and a wrong way up? I think there is, because there's flowers at the bottom, so let's get that the right way. And then we'll pop that down. Again, I've just put some tacky glue over there, so it just gives me a little bit of a wiggle room time, as long as I don't press down. On my ruler, let's see how straight that is with the top. Have to be careful with that ruler, because if you've put any of the layers on wonky, and you put your topper straight, then it can make you look like your thing's wonky anyway. So I found to sort of take it into consideration, but not completely trust it. Okay, so let's get back to crafting. I've been chattering about nonsense for long enough. So we're just getting these pads off. I'm nearly done with this one, and then that will be our second one. I'm going to work my way through this kit, this Moonlit Moments. So there's 4 different toppers, 4 different sets, just the same as any other kit. Just because it's free doesn't mean you get any less in terms of actual kit or quality, which is one of the best things I love about these Hunkydory kits. Just putting plenty of glue on there. I don't know if I want to pop that in to give me a guide. Well, I've done it now, so we might as well. So I'm just going to make sure that's kind of in place. And then excuse my head if it comes in. There we go. Oh, I'll tell you something else I saw today that I don't know if any of you have seen, particularly for UK people. But Create and Craft are advertising for demonstrators. Now they haven't said what they want demonstrators for. They've got pictures of everything, sort of needlework and all the things, sewing, knitting and card making. But if you think you might fancy a go at demonstrating on Create and Craft, which actually isn't too far from me. It used to be nearer, but they've moved now to Andal, I think it is. Yeah, so it's a little bit further away. Right, corner punch, that's what I was going to do. So I'm just going to round this up just to, I could come in with the sort of take the corner out, is it like an inverted corner sort of thing? Do I want to take all of the corners out? Maybe we could get away with doing 2 just for something different. Let's have a little look. So this is from the cardstock that came with it. So I bought the £12.99 bundle, which has the kit, papers and cardstock and a little book. So I'm just thinking, do I want that? I haven't sort of planned where I want that to go. I think probably, yeah, we'll do them all and I'll pop it down the bottom. So I want it where there's not, where you're not going to be missing too much. And this is a little Hunkydory one. Mum must have got it because it's not something I've bought. And you would think with it, well, I always thought, let's put it that way, with it being tiny, it would be hard to use, but it's actually one of my favourite ones. Okay, so let's just pop this on. I tested, not tested, but I tried the different colour Adorable Scorables against this in terms of what I've foiled sentiments onto, and this one seemed to stand out a bit more. It's actually the same colour as my map. Oh. So all the foam pads falling off the shelf. They keep doing that, I swear it's haunted in here. Okay, so as soon as you've fallen near me, so hopefully this is not going to move when I turn it over. But yeah, if you just going back to the whole Create and Craft thing, if you fancy having a go, check out there. Well, I actually saw it on Facebook, but I'm sure it'll probably be on their website as well. I think they want you to send a video of yourself, so doing whatever crafts you do. See, this is why I don't like it when it moves. There we go. Yeah. I like the idea of it. Mum always said, oh, you should be on there. You know, like mums do. But I don't think I would like the pressure of it. You know, like you've got to do this to a certain date. I'm not great with deadlines. I like to do my own thing when I want. And sometimes, let's just pop that on there. I can't force my creativity. I can't force my making. So I think that might be a big problem for them. Okay, so we've got these blue gems this time. A little butterfly there, we could use that, but we're not going to. So I'm going to use these blue ones. I'm just going to use these 3 up. So 1, 2, and I'll put 1 on that side as well. Oh, no, the stickies come off. Yeah, so I think I wouldn't be much good at it. I'd be alright. I think I'd get over doing it on the TV sort of thing, but the actual deadline side of things would probably do me in. Right, okay, let's move that out of the way. Okay, so that's that one finished. Obviously we just need to an insert in. Just pop my tops on my glues and pop those on. And this was the one that was called Magical Moments. So as you can see, that really stands out there, that pink. But if I hold up, let me show you some of the other bits that I was doing. This one, yeah, so like the blue, this doesn't really stand out so much. I think the green would be okay. And there's a darker purple which is nice as well, but I really like the sort of in your face bit of that, so that's why I use that colour. So let me bring in that first card we did. We should be able to take the tweezers off it now. Now that should have stuck, and you can see that's stuck down quite nicely. It does quite well with that Clout all-purpose glue. But those are the 2 cards for today. Obviously I'm going to keep on working with the other bits in the kit. Probably going to do that later today or tomorrow, just to use those up. So I will put those pictures up on Pinterest when they are done. There are a few of that Here's to Him cards that I did work on yesterday to go up on Pinterest, so they will go up today before these do. I put them all up at the same time, but it's just that I do those older pieces first so that these don't get lost in the thread. Okay, but that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Like I say, apologies about Sunday, just that power cut really just threw us out. Hopefully, we'll touch wood, we haven't had any further troubles with it, but been quite lucky because well, not even probably about a 10-minute walk in the village, they had a burst water main. They're still underwater and like the whole house is flooded, you know, so we were, you know, quite lucky to have the power cut and not the flood, I would say, because that would have been devastating, especially for my cardstock that's near the floor levels. Oh my god, it doesn't even bear thinking about, does it? But anywho, I will see you next time. Again, we're coming back with Moonlit Moments, and maybe do the butterfly one next time, and we'll see what we can make with that. But thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye bye.